It is now my privilege to introduce to you another Matt's mom, Denise Resnik.
Last May, our son Matthew participated in his hallway graduation from high school. That crowded hall was filled with excitement, and dozens of friends, family members, teachers, aides, students, and Matt's fellow classmates. As the principal prepared to announce the 2013 graduates, silence came over the hall, and emotions filled the space. The first name she announced, Matthew Brian Resnik. Just 2 other graduate names followed, and then a small celebration for these 3 proud graduates and this large, supportive school community that cheered them on and got them over the finish line. At the age of 21, Matt didn't understand that this would be his last day at Chaparral High School, but we did. We questioned, how do we fill 164 hours every week with productive, meaningful activities? How do we ensure that he doesn't slide backwards? In reality, I've been contemplating what happens when the school bus stops coming, nearly since the day it arrived. In the early formation of SARRC, I remember visiting those sheltered workshops and those group homes. I remember vividly what I saw, what I experienced, and what I didn't want to see for Matt's future. And so I committed nearly 20 years ago and remain committed now to a big vision that when a family hears the word autism, they can also hear that their child can make progress and make friends, attend their neighborhood school, and have a job, a home of their own, and a community that supports them. You only need to take a brief ride on the light rail in the heart of the Central Phoenix area to experience the supportive community that SARRC has created. You heard about all of our works, our community works programs, and you'll find them at the YMCA, at the Roosevelt Road Garden, at the Phoenix Library, at the Phoenix Theater, and you'll experience Arizona Diamondback's Good Deed Works program, where we have teens with autism volunteering with peer mentors in dozens of nonprofits across the valley. And they're building their skills, they're building their socialization, they're making friends, and they're building their resumes and preparing to be productive, contributing members of our community. What SARRC has done over the past nearly 17 years is set the next chapter, set the table for us of what comes next. And that's residential. It's something we've been evaluating for 15 years. We've researched 100 existing residential options across the country. We've involved more than 100 family members, including individuals with autism and Asperger's, in our focus groups. We've co-hosted a national town hall with 16 other cities and worked with luminaries and leaders across the country, probing new ideas. And here's what we've learned. We cannot solve the housing crisis 3 and 4 people at a time when we consider that we have 500,000 children with autism entering adulthood this decade. We cannot look to government with its dwindling resources to solve the problem alone. We need to consider the advancements in community design, in technology, and with a generation of children that have been empowered and benefited from early intervention. And we need to separate the real estate from the very important service provision. And as a result, just a year and a half ago, I created a new nonprofit to create a new prototype for residential development, and it's called First Place. First Place will be a mixed-use residential development set in the heart of the city along the light rail. It will be for individuals with autism and related disorders, and it will also be home for ASU and Phoenix College students, Teach for America fellows who are also attracted to the urban transit-oriented location, the remarkable education and learning opportunities, and also this very special ethos. First Place represents a public-private nonprofit collaboration looking to develop replicable prototypes so that we have more residential options locally and across North America. It's not congregate care, it's not assisted living, it's not a licensed facility. We're developing individual homes, smart homes, based on an apartment development and co-located with a transition academy and a national leadership and training institute. In essence, First Place is for the individuals who live there, the people who work and learn there, and for family and friends who come and go. So what does this mean for SARRC? It means that we can focus and fulfill our mission of supporting individuals with autism and their families throughout their lifetimes. It means we can advance our social agenda and teach individuals at every age the importance of inclusion, integration, and interdependence, and promote neurodiversity. It means that we have SARRC focused on programs and services and clinical efficacy while First Place develops the research. And in tandem, we will be connecting our residents with jobs, with friends, with recreation, with adult medical care, and with a safe environment. This supportive community, our secret ingredients, is making First Place possible, and it's making so much more possible. It's resulted in the 340 action heroes that called into the KTAR Radiothon, pledging their support to Danny Portillo, his family, and all our families. It's resulted in a robust collaboration with Autism Speaks, with Sprouts, with sponsors, and with so many of you who have come together to support the Walk Now for Autism Speaks and SARRC, bringing together 22,000 champions for autism, making the Phoenix Walk the largest autism walk in the country. This supportive community is about the 350 members of our grandparent support group, many of whom were here before 5 o'clock this morning, setting your tables, and who are there for SARRC always. And on a very personal note, this supportive community is about my sister Debbie. My sister Debbie, who has been SARRC's most diligent and longest volunteer, who has been there every step of the way with every one of our 16 community breakfasts and most events in between, despite a series of serious health challenges and 2 years of dialysis. It's about Lindsay Waugh, who has been a part of our SARRC family for nearly a decade and supported our walks, our radiothons, and these breakfasts. It's about the new life that Lindsay gave to my sister in February when she donated her kidney to Debbie. And Lindsay is standing straight ahead of me at the production controls, and my sister Debbie, who prefers to remain unnoticed in the back of the room, is sitting back by the exit. Lindsay and Debbie, thank you for all you do for SARRC and for supporting us. This supportive community stood on their feet and are giving rise to Matt Cottle and giving support to our 16 rising entrepreneurs, including our son Matt. This past October, Matthew Brian Resnik launched his home bakery business, and it's called Smile Biscotti, supporting Matt's independent living enterprise. He's been revving up the KitchenAid before 7:30 in recent weeks to fill his orders and to make sure every one of you had a smile at your place setting. In the past 7 months, Matt has sold more than 30,000 biscotti. And that's thanks to friends, family, Facebook, and so many of you. Matthew and the two Matthews have other baked goods available for you today, and we hope that you indulge them in the lobby. This supportive community is very special, and it's truly transformational. But there's more we need to do, and you heard about that this morning. We need to reduce the disparities between and among ethnicities as it relates to diagnosis. We need to be able to expand our programs and reduce our wait list, because when you're a parent of a child with autism, you can't afford to wait. We need more businesses saying yes because of ability and productivity and talent, and because our individuals with autism care. We need to be able to answer the question of how the rise in autism could go from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 68 in Matt's lifetime, and how one medication or therapeutic intervention can work for one child and not for another. And we need to answer that looming question of who's going to care for our children when we're no longer able to do so. Because of this community, we can lead by example. We can learn from each other, and we can leave the next generation with greater hope and greater opportunities, so that when families hear the word autism, they can also see a future that includes jobs and homes and friends and a community that supports them. Thank you for your kindness and for all that you're doing for SARRC and for all of us. And that's resulting in more to me. Thank you.